it's beginning to look more and more like CJ Carr is going to be starting quarterback for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And this is interesting because we're entering a space where we are likely to see CJ Carr, Julian Sayin, and Bryce Underwood start games for blue blood college football programs as year one starters and young guys. Which one of these players has the best opportunity to make an immediate impact in 2025? What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on the step mill. If this is your first time watching the #1 college football show, welcome. Thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. So if that is something you're into, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and leave me a comment below. Which one of these quarterbacks do you think will have the best 2025? And if you got the time, tell me why. I wanted to get onto this subject because I introduced a new quarterback into the conversation, especially after some of the chatter that's been coming out of Notre Dame over the weekend. CJ Carr looking more and more like a guy who is going to be a starting quarterback in FBS, particularly at, national title runner-up Notre Dame, which is going to replace the 22-year-old Riley Leonard, who was a one-year rental that took them all the way to the national championship, something Notre Dame had not done since 2012 and had not done in the college football playoff era, playing for the title, right? Now, what is interesting about this is Steve Angeli, and Kenny Minchie for that matter, but more Steve Angeli. So this is a player who played pretty well in relief of Riley Leonard when he went down in the college football playoff. Did he play well enough for me to believe that he is going to be the next starting quarterback at Notre Dame? Absolutely not. Is he a better version of Drew Aller? Not necessarily, but that's the kind of quarterback he reminds me of, right? It's Drew Aller. Can you do better than Drew Aller, who I don't think is good enough to win you a national championship? Certainly good enough to win you a Big Ten championship. Great. But Notre Dame doesn't play for league championships. It plays for national championships, or it doesn't play for championships at all. That's what they're about. So much so that they are completely fine with the college football playoff because the college football playoff has been designed around them. It is made for them to take advantage of the system. They got everything they wanted in year one of the 12-team playoff. They got number 5 seed, which gave them the home game, the home revenue, the home broadcast. And then, with each successive win, they don't have to split that money in a conference. They take all that money back home. Marcus Freeman in high cotton as he is trying to ascertain which one of these guys is going to be the starting quarterback. Now, he is saying what quarterback coaches at Michigan and Ohio State are saying, what offensive coordinators at Michigan and Ohio State are saying, and what head coaches Michigan and Ohio State are saying, which is let those guys compete, let the process play out. We'll name a starter when someone has demonstrated themselves to be a cut above and the starting quarterback at said university. Now, at Ohio State, feels like that's Julian Sayin in the same way that it feels like it's going to be CJ Carr at Notre Dame. And at Michigan, feels like that's Bryce Underwood. The difference here, as is often the case when we talk quarterbacks, is what do you have around you? What's the offensive line going to look like? What's the run game going to look like? And what do you have on the perimeter? We know the answer to this question at Michigan. They can run the football. They will be able to run the football. They'll trade in and out offensive linemen. It'll be okay, right? You know what? Let's throw Arch Manning into this conversation too, since we're having a good time here. He's got 4 new offensive linemen, and he's going to have Ryan Wingo, CJ Baxter, Quintravion Wisner, right? Jarrett Gibson, and he's got wheels. He's also got a defense that can absolutely fly. DeAndre Moore also comes to mind. At Ohio State, Julian Sayin, new offensive line coach, new coordinator, Brian Hartline. Got Jeremiah Smith, though, and they do not. Carnell Tate, he's going to be in the mix. Brandon Ennis, he also going to be in the mix. They got the transfer in Max Clare at tight end, meaning they're probably going to do a little bit more at tight end. And Keegan Bailey got a little bit more of a, let's say, raise because tight end's going to be a little bit more useful, right, with Max Clare. And then, take into account their defense, right? They got a new defense coordinator, Matt Patricia. It's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. How quickly can he get up to speed? That's going to be the question. But he's going to have assets. He's going to have dudes he can spread the ball around to. And frankly, I don't expect Lincoln Kienholz or, for that matter, Tavian St. Clair to unseat him in 2025. Michigan. What wide receivers? There is not a single receiver at Michigan returning with 250 yards receiving. Mostly because you got to have a quarterback to throw it, is what many Michigan fans would say. We didn't have any receivers catch any passes because we didn't have a quarterback to throw them. Okay, let's see. Do you have another Roman Wilson in the bag? Do you have another Colston Loveland in the bag? He caught passes for you last year, by the way. What do you have? Because I don't see Braylon Edwards over there, dog. I don't see that, not Nan. Hell, I don't see Nico Collins out there, let alone Braylon. You going to have to show me something. I just don't see it, all right? Show me Cornelius out there. I don't see it. I don't see no big, strong, fast receivers out there. If you got them, maybe they're Bryce Underwood, who's going to have to be doing all sorts of work. And I think Bryce Underwood is still going to be in a better spot than CJ Carr is from a starting standpoint. That said, I think CJ Carr's got the highest ceiling here because Jaden Greathouse continues to develop. Jordan Faison continues to develop. He's got Jeremiah Love back there. The offensive line is going to run the football well. Mike Denbrock's going to make the most of what he's got at quarterback. He can be fun. He can be damn near lethal. And if you believe the progress that he has made from year 1 to year 2 and the rehab with his arm, things flipping out of there, the ball comes out, great quarterback coach loves him. Yeah, it feels like Notre Dame is going to be right there where they were at the end of last year. It's can he lead them to a national championship? He has the tools. He's got the talent to do this in a way that I'm not sure many others do, frankly. So when I put these guys into a bag, right? Bryce Underwood, year 1 starter, we think. Julian Sayin, year 1 starter, we think. Arch Manning, definitely going to be the starting quarterback at Texas. CJ Carr, year 1 starter, we think. Who's got the best opportunity here to come out firing? Well, right now, I'm going to take Arch Manning, Julian Sayin, but I'm going to take Arch Manning before I take Julian Sayin. Like, I would expect Arch Manning to throw for 3 bills if anybody's going to throw for 3 bills in Ohio State versus Texas, right? I don't think anybody's gonna, but of those two, I would take that. I think it's going to be a defensive run game type of game because I don't think either one of those coordinators is really going to want to take the training wheels off of their new starter, especially when you got a new play caller in Brian Hartline. And you got a guy, Steve Sarkisian, who's been through this before and, frankly, loves to run the football, given an opportunity, loves his misdirection. He's going to try to do a lot of keeping the ball out of Julian Sayin's hands and trying to let C.J. Baxter, Quintravion Wiseman do a lot of the work for Arch. When you get in a play-action pass for Steve Sarkisian's offense, kiss it goodnight because he's got you. If he can run play action on you and you can bite, or he sees you bite, you're done. You're cooked. He's going to get one-on-ones. He's going to get matchups. He's the best that I've ever seen at doing that. It's just, frankly, Ohio State was a better football team last year. That's just it. They were a better football team. Are they a better football team losing all those players? I don't know. I don't think so. Same thing could be said of, Texas, though. So it'll be a fair fight, I think. But I'm going to give the edge to the quarterback at Texas on this just because I've seen more of the quarterback at Texas, and I trust more of what I've seen from the quarterback at Texas. Julian Sayin, we'll see. CJ Carr and Bryce Underwood, they're in that second tier for me. I think Bryce Underwood is as good as people have told, and, best quarterback 2025 class. He's going to be hampered by what they got in the run game and what they got at receiver. I just don't see it. Meanwhile, CJ Carr is stepping into Jeremiah Love, stepping into Jordan Faison, Jaden Greathouse. Gets to grow up with them. I think he's in a really good spot. So of those quarterbacks, that's how I see them stacking up. But I would be curious, now that I have added Arch Manning to the mix here, and you made it this far into the segment, what do you think? Do you think Arch Manning, CJ Carr, Bryce Underwood, Julian Sayin going to end up with the best year in 2025? Let me know.